Hello everyone, Ifecodes here. In this video, we are going to build our own RESTful API. So what's an API and why do we need it in this project? So first of all, an API or application programming interface in an app like TikTok acts like a middleman. So it acts like a middleman between the front end, that is the app users, and the back end, that's the server where the videos are stored. That is the front end. Whenever you scroll on the front end, it doesn't directly go to the database to get the videos. Instead, it sends a request to the API, which then retrieves or which then retrieves the information or the necessary data from the database. Okay, it's like when there are two people. There's the first guy is Peter, then the second person is John, and we have the database. So Peter needs something, he asks John to go and get it from the database. So the second guy goes to the database and gets the necessary data for the first guy. All right. So why do we need it? Okay. Why do we need it in this project? We need it because, for example, let's say you have many videos in your database and it is impossible. We cannot load all those videos at once, because if you try that, it's going to crash or it is going to be very slow. Imagine youtube.com. youtube.com has over 1 billion videos. Then you want to load the whole 1 billion videos with your little YouTube app on your Android or iOS device. It's not going to work. So we need a method or a way of loading those videos in in little quantities and displaying them on your screen. Then if we need more, we simply make a request, please, I need more videos. Then the API will give you more videos. So this keeps things fast and secure, of course scalable, so it makes it to move smoothly. Okay, so that's that for why we need an API. Or in this case, we are building a simple RESTful API. So I've already created the what's it called, the file that we will need. So you create the file, call it fetchvideos.php. Okay, or you call it whatever you like, but please, if you can do it as I did here, that will be a lot better. So we'll go up there and do the usual PHP thing, since it's going to be purely a PHP project. So we don't need that closing tag. So the next thing we are going to do now is to kind of notify the the clients. Okay, we'll notify or tell the browser that we are going to send JSON data, because it is JSON data that it uses. The data gets how do I put it? It uses to communicate, from the server, from the database to the front end. Okay, so in order to do that, we simply say header. Okay, make sure JSON. What am I doing? JSON. Okay, so application. Make sure this thing you spelled it correctly. Okay, if not, it's going to behave in some very weird manner. So the next thing we are going to do now is to bring in the file with database connection details. Okay, we'll say include. What are we including or importing? Sorry, I made a mistake. Includes, not include. Okay, includes dash, because I was waiting for this thing and I'm wondering why it's not showing up. So we are going to import the includes .db include/db. Okay, sorry, we are going to import the db connects .php. I was a little bit distracted, please. I'm sorry. So the next thing we are going to do now is to set how many videos we are going to grab per request. We are going to call it limit. Okay, we call it limit. So what is it as I said earlier, it's number of videos we are going to grab each time we make a request or when we scroll to a certain extent. So it's going to our app. It's going to make a request to the API. So the API is going to grab a certain number of videos. Okay. Then the next one, we have another variable we have to make, and we'll call this one offsets. So offset is simply the number of videos that will be skipped when fetching videos from the database. So limit is the number of videos we'll grab per request. Offset is the number of videos that will be skipped, because we do not want to grab videos that we have already grabbed in the past. Okay, we want something new each time we make a request. Imagine your mother wants to, let's say you're a kid, when you were a kid and your mother bought this storybook for you. And she says she's going to read it to you each time before you go to bed, before you sleep. Then she says also that the limit of the pages she's going to read per night will be 2 pages. So on the first night, she reads 2 pages, pages 1 and 2. Okay, so the next night she's supposed to start from 3, then read 4 and call it a night. Then the next night again, okay, just like that. Imagine now she's just reading the first 2 pages each time, each night, each session. It's just the first 2 pages each time, and she does it like, let's say, for a week. You'll be like, what is going on, mom? Okay, so you do not want to read, how do I put it? You don't want to listen to her reading the pages she has already read. You are now bored with it, so we want to move on, and on we will move. So then, what are we doing now? So the limit, we give it 2. You yourself can give whatever number you want to, okay? But it has to be reasonable. Then what about offset? So the first thing we have to do is to check if the offset is set. So we say is set. All right. So we want to check if offset is set. Okay. Then put this question mark here. If offset is set, that is to say that this is not the first time that we are making a request. That is again to say that we have already refreshed the videos and we have scrolled, okay, on reaching to a certain point. Then the app will have to make a request again, because when you refresh it, it is making a request, and that will be the first time. So that will be from 0. That will be the very like that would be like your mom reading pages 1 and 2. Okay, but now we want to check if we have already started, or should I say that there were already some requests already made in that session. Okay, if you understand what I mean by session, we are going to talk about that in some other project. So if offset is available, we convert it, because it comes in, this one now comes in as a string. Yes, it comes as a string, so we'll have to convert it to a number or an integer. So we'll then convert. So what we'll do now is simply to convert it. So say get, then offset. Then if there is no offset available, i.e. the very first time, or it is the very first request that is being made after the page has been refreshed, okay, then we will then create this offset and assign to it 0, the number 0, which means we are going to start from the very, very, very first video. So this is the short method of doing this. Okay, now let me show you how to do it using the long method. Okay, so that will be simply what you're seeing here. So this code here does exactly the same thing as this one. So let me comment this one out. All right, so to clarify it, if there is an offset, then get that offset and convert it to, make sure it is converted to integer. Okay, make sure it is treated as an integer or as a number. else, which means there is no offset provided, then we have to start from 0 or the beginning. So then we have to create a variable called offset and set it to 0. Okay. So the next thing we have to do now is to do the SQL, sorry, the what's it called again? The SQL query stuff. All right. So to do that, we'll simply say we create a variable called SQL. All right. So SQL. Then what will SQL do? It is an SQL code, of course. So as it says select ID, title, URL. This is from the database. So select this thing from the what's it called? From the table called videos in the database. Then order it by ID in descending order. Then limits the number of videos each per request to limit. Limit is what? 2. Then the offset is simply the number of videos we are going to skip. Okay, so let me clarify this offset thing more, because that will be a bone of contention. A bone of contention to some people. So here it is to elaborate more on it. So why do we need offset exactly? Imagine you have 100 videos, but you don't want to load all of them at once. Or, for example, YouTube that has almost a billion videos. What am I even saying? Almost more than a billion videos, and you want to load videos from YouTube. If you go there, you want to load all of them, it's going to crash your phone. Okay, it's not going to work. So instead, what we'll do is to load them in smaller parts. For example, in our own case, we are using 2 videos at a time. Then offset tells the database where to start fetching the the next set of videos. So if the offset is 0, so it means you are going to start from the beginning. If the offset is 2, okay, you are going to, if the offset is 0, you load the first 2 videos. If the offset is 2, then it means the next 2 videos after skipping the first 2 videos. So that is your mom reading for example, the first day she reads pages 1 and 2. Sorry, the first night she reads pages 1 and 2. Then the next night or the second night she reads to you pages 3 and 4. Then the other night again she reads pages 5 and 6. She doesn't start reading again from the very first page, because you have already know what that one is all about. Okay, so it simply means, for example, offset 4 means we have to skip the first 4 videos, and so forth and so on. Okay, this is very useful in, for example, when you want to do, for example, this load more stuff. In some video sites, they have this thing they call load more, not just videos or other things too. Then what about infinite scrolling? For example, YouTube or TikTok, as you just keep on scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and so forth and so on. All right, so that's that. Now, okay, we have already. I'm done with this offset thing. I think I have talked enough about it. Okay, so this one now is what we shall do. Okay, we have already done it. Okay, this is the querying the database. So, oh no, this is the SQL for the database. Okay, so the next thing we have to do now is to query the database, and whatever we get from the query will be stored inside a variable called results. Okay, results. Then what we'll do is con, and we access the query function. Okay, and we give it this this data, or this parameter, call it SQL, of course. So where is this COON coming? Sorry, this CONN, where is it coming from? Look at it here. So this is the database collection. All right, so let's move back there here to the fetchvideos.php immediately. Then after getting the results, we will initialize a an array and call that array video. Okay, wait, let me call it videos, not video. So an array or list. Of course, in PHP we use the word array. Once we get the results and paste them and put them here, we will now have to use a while loop to loop through each each, should I say, each data that we got from the database. So use while so we'll make a variable called row. So row to row we assign the result. Okay, then that result we will access the fetch assoc. Okay, the fetch assoc what's it called, method. So while we are looping through all of this, what do? So we grab these videos, videos list or array, and assign to it row. So that's that. All right. So now let me visualize this on the screen. Let's see what we have. So say print underscore r. All right. So what are we trying to display on our screen or on our browser? So it's simply the video. So let's see what is inside. So I save. Now I go to the what's it called, to the browser. So let me .php. So this is what we have. All right. Array blah 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 blah. ID is 3. Title is dinner. So I think we only have 3 videos or 2 videos or something. So let me check, please. 2 videos. So what you have to do now is, what I want you to do right now in order to benefit maximally is to upload more videos, download more videos that you can upload into your database so that you get more information and more familiar with what we are doing. All right, so we are not yet at the end, because this, as it is right now, it doesn't make any more sense to the front end. There isn't much they can do about it. Why? Because it is not in JSON format, so we have to encode it next. So to do that we simply so we have to convert it to JSON. So to do that we simply say echo, okay, echo JSON JSON encode. Then what are we encoding is the videos, the variable. All right, so let me take this one off. I save it, then I go to the browser. Let me refresh. All right, now you see what we have here. Okay, so this is a JSON, this is a valid JSON data. So this is where we're going to stop today. In the next video, we are going to now try to use this JSON data and work with it. So AKA, we are going to create the front end. All right. So it is not hard. There is nothing difficult about it. So just calm down and watch and see what is going to happen. Please, if you like this video, please endeavor to like the video. Okay, click like button, smash it. If you are not yet, what I call it? If you are not yet subscribed, please, I need subscribers. Okay, subscribe. So this is a very good application. So thank you so much. See you next time, if there is a next time.